Okay, so recently I put out a video on what was the most effective way to catch fish this year for our group, going up 3 different times on Lake of the Woods. And that would be using the Dirty Bomb or some configuration with the Dirty Bomb. Again, the Dirty Bomb being this guy, right here. And this Dirty Bomb is one of about 4 different kinds. And then you have the option of 5 different colors that it will blink in. Now there also are some generic versions that you can buy online, but very similar. It's a lure with a blinking light and a treble that is connected to this. Now, when I made this video, I got some feedback. One of the comments, which I was very grateful to get. Thank you for sending these comments. I always want the feedback. So this comment said, how do you feel about the possibility that this lure setup could be illegal? So obviously right away I was very concerned with this, and I looked into the rules myself, and in the comments I replied back. And so there are 2 sets of rules that we're going to be looking at today. But the other part that I want to say is right away I got on the horn with the DNR. I was then given the number for a person who would be up in the Lake of the Woods area. I was a conservation officer, and then through feedback, talking with them and them looking through the statutes and the rules here, they were able to give me their read on what is legal and what is not legal. So I will share with you that, but I will also say, because these rules were not set or were not put in place specifically for this lure and this modification, it's up to interpretation of the existing rules to kind of find how this fits within that guideline. So because of that, there could be some clarifications that go on in the next season. Hopefully so that we all have a little bit better guidance. But let's go over the rules right now. Before we go into the rules, I just want to talk about the Dirty Bomb setup that we are talking about. And so here is the Dirty Bomb itself. Ooh, it's probably not. And this is a drop line or leader that is 8 inches. So the total length is just under 9 inches from the top of the lure down to the bottom of that treble. So the existing rules for a lighted setup are the following. Minnesota Statute 97C period 335, use of artificial lights to take fish prohibited. Person may not use artificial lights to lure or attract fish or to see fish in the water while spearing. Except for while angling or spearing, a person may, 1, affix a lighted artificial bait with hooks attached to the end of a fishing line. Okay? So, we can use artificial bait with hooks that's lighted. And then, the battery that's used in this lighted fishing lures may not contain mercury. If you think about what this was meant for, this was meant for people who are using big lights to attract fish into a certain area. So what they're saying is you can't do that. The light has to be affixed to the lure. So now we're going to get into the specifics of, well, what is a lure? Once you have a drop line or leader, does that now become something that is just attracting fish in and not the lure itself? Okay, so then we go to the actual guidelines for fishing, so your manual that says 24 through 25 fishing season, and we're looking at a single tackle configuration. So how many hooks can be used on the end of the line is what this ends up being underneath. Only one artificial bait / lure or one single tackle configuration can be used at the end of your line for it to be considered a single line. Up to 3 single or multiple pronged hooks may be used in a single tackle configuration, but the total distance between hooks cannot exceed 9 inches. Okay, so we're bringing in 2 different laws together to try to make sense of this. One, the lighted, the light that is attracting fish, but if it's attached to a lure, and then a lure configuration of 9 inches. Now it's 9 inches between hooks, but in this we're kind of filling in the blanks. It's a gray area. So in this, instead of saying between hooks, we're saying that 9 inches equals the entire lure. So as long as it's less than 9 inches, to my understanding, this would be legal. So whether it's 9 inches here, or whether there's a 3 inch or 6 inch, anything that is under 9 inches would be legal for the total length of the top of the lure to the bottom of that hook. So that is my understanding, and that was based off of the feedback that I got from the conservation officer that I talked to on the phone. But again, he said that this is one of those rulings that would be up to the conservation officer that you ran into and their reading of the existing laws. We'll see if there's any kind of an update coming up. Maybe we'll get one. If we get one, I'll probably put out a video, although most of you guys will probably already know it. But I think it's something to keep an eye on, because this lure and this setup has been incredibly effective on Lake of the Woods, and I'm sure it's going to be used more and more. And support Fish Daddy, because you know, it's a local Minnesota company, and nothing like supporting your own. Remember, like, share, subscribe. Please guys, keep subscribing. There's a very low percentage of people that watch these videos that actually subscribe, and I know it means nothing to you. It's not even interfering with your day. You don't even have to put on a notification, but it means a lot to me. All right, take care.